Hi everybody. I do love it when my face explodes. I don't know why that can't focus. It just is funny though. I'm sorry. I know I'm a child. So this is another Wip'n Boggy Creek Stylie, and yeah, I'm having a bit of trouble controlling it. I'll get there. Okay, so this is what it's looking like now. It's getting quite big. That's just one ball. I'm really impressed with that. I'm going to move my tea before I dip my yarn in the tea. A bit hot at the moment. So I have my hook. Now, firstly, apologies for looking so scruffy. Normally, when I make a video, or the odd occasion I don't for a reason, but normally what I do is I make sure the colour complements me just a little bit. Grey always makes me look sick. But yeah, most of my everything is in the wash. When we had guests, we had house guests, and Jamie was staying, so I can't really clutter the house up with loads of washing, because I put it on a big clothes horse to dry, and all in the bathroom. And he has 12-hour long baths. I know it's a bit exaggeration, but he does have a long bath, so I couldn't really put that up, and so the washing mounted up. And yeah, so there's loads of it, so it's not much available to me. So yeah, the colour will be making me look extra sick. And oh, hello. And I love it when that happens. And I can't put my usual powder on to tone down any kind of redness on my face and make me an even skin tone, because I have a problem, and I'm trying to heal it. I've got this rashy sort of eye. Anyway, I have my antibiotics and stuff, and I actually feel a little bit better than I did yesterday. I was feeling a bit under the weather, but then I got kind of exhausted while we were out, and I'm not doing anything like that today. So, you know, hopefully. But I do actually feel a little bit better within myself, which is a good start. And I have to take 5 of those antibiotics in one day. So, you know, I feel like I'm forever popping the pills. But yeah, anything that gets rid of it, you know, is pretty cool to me. So, yeah, I'm hoping that I don't need to put my glasses on to do this today. Now, I do have another WIP on the go, but I've moved it, and I will be getting on with that. It is the squares that I've been showing. I have one here. This is the wrong square. It's made with a larger hook, so it's a little more drapey and open, but this is what they look like. And I will be doing all different colours. I'm making a kind of a rainbow Boggy Creek blanket, and I've made quite a few of them already, but I've not edged them because I'm possibly going to do the join as you go for that. So I will do the tutorial, but just in case you missed it, I have done the tutorial for this stitch already, and there is a right-handed and a left-handed version of it, and I will put a link towards the end of the video. I could put one up there now, but then you'd go away and you wouldn't watch me, which kind of defeats the object of this video, isn't it, really? But I will put, you know, in the 4 videos coming at the end, I'll make it one of those. I'll do both, the right-handed and the left-handed, so that if you wanted to find it, you could easily find it. And if I can remember, I'll put it in the description box, but I don't always remember. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, so this one's done. That one will be next, and I'm going to give it a go and see what it looks like on the join it as you go. If I don't like it, then I can always just edge them all and do something else, you know. But we'll see. I've got quite a lot of squares done already, but actually, you can't see the whippy, can you? Here it is. If it cuts the top of my head off, it doesn't matter, because, you know, it needs to see the top of my head anyway. As I said, it's a bit of a dishevelled head at the moment, so, you know, doesn't matter. But yeah, I crochet, I suppose, I don't know. There is one person who actually messaged me once and said, oh, it was so good to see that somebody crochets the same as me. And yeah, my mum taught me when I was 6 years old, so I crochet like she did. But you know, some people, when you watch them, they kind of wrap wrap the yarn around this little finger, and then they get it on this one, and it's all tangled up in the finger. How on earth it flows, I'll never know. But I just drape it between these two fingers. That's all. It's just draped between, and that way I can control my tension by just closing these fingers or not. So yeah, that's all I do. Is I just, if I want it to be tighter, I sort of close them up a bit, and if I want it to freely run, I open them up. So it's just easy. But and I hold my hook like a pen, so that's my grip. Yeah, it's a bit of a slow going blanket, this one. Obviously if I'd used larger yarn and maybe a larger hook, it would have probably been finished by now. But I've got this ice cream yarn which looks melted on the wool genie. So yeah, ice cream yarn. Wanted to use it up. I've had it a long time, and I love the colours of it. And anyway, so that's what I'm doing. But it does mean that it only grows, I suppose, about 1/3 of an inch a row, or maybe 1/4 of an inch a row. But you do get a blanket without gaps, and nice and warm and snug. The actual stitch looks like this. I like the way it looks like a little square. Got plans for something in this stitch, whether it'll work out. Thought Joan attacked me then. Anyway, whether it'll work out or not, I don't know, but we'll see. I've had this plan in the offing, well, since Jobra, lad. All right, maybe not that long, but you know, it's been a while. It's been a while. There are all these things that I have these plans for, and it gets a bit heavy. Yeah, I have all these plans and these things in my head to make, and they just go by the wayside, and you know, other things pop in and take over. But what I'm actually planning on is something for Gary, my other half. So yeah, I might do it, but I need to get all the boggy creeks out the way first. I've sent one off. I sent it off to Nancy in her order. So that's the beauty of getting the orders. You know, I just pop in the blanket when I post it off. And if it makes the postage a little bit more, it doesn't matter, because at least they will get it quite quickly. Oh, I wasn't hungry. Of course, now I'm here. I am. Typical, really. I haven't eaten. So I've decided to take some supplements, and one of them has to be taken with food, so I've not had that yet. But when I do my chat video, you know, the Have a Yarn with Tracy chat video, I will show those and have a little chat about them. And also my new bag that I bought, I forgot to bring it in yesterday. I did show one that a very fancy bag that arrived in the mail, which I'm still in two minds about whether keeping or not. I like it, but you know, I might do, I might not, we'll see. But the one I got yesterday was a very cheap one, and it's perfect to take on holiday because it's very lightweight. Leaning my arm on here is quite achy. Never mind. Never mind. I have to put up with it for a while. It's either that or just move over a bit and not, and then it gets achy anyway, so can't win. I think my seat is a bit too low, to be honest with you. You know, these seats that you can raise and lower, for some reason after a while they start to go, and then you kind of pop them up again and it's all right. But I think that's what the problem is. I think my seat might have gone a tad low. Oh, we're changing to the mauve. I love this colour. I do like the orange as well, don't get me wrong, but this mauve, it's really a pretty mauve. I thought it was quite funny because you know, quite a few people have been buying my mystery bags and mystery boxes lately and doing unboxings, and I love watching them. And then when I sort of heard the Americans say mauve, it was mauve. Mauve. And I thought, what? Mauve? We call it mauve over here. We call it mauve, but mauve. Mauve. Yeah. Isn't it funny how the languages, well, they're the same language separated by oceans, but, you know, it does, those words always do tickle me, like the way that we say aluminium and you guys say aluminum. You know, I do love all that. Paprika and paprika, that kind of stuff. But mauve, it's mauve, guys, it's mauve. I think it's hilarious. I do. I love words and the way that they translate. So that, there it is. It is a beautiful colour. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous. So yes, I have a nice cup of tea, which is right by the fan. So I don't want it too close to me in case I knock it over. Because did I put it in the cup with the lid? Did I chuff? I put it in this one, which says congratulations on getting 5k. It's a bit old now, guys. My face just exploded again. Yeah, it's even more in the line of fire of the fan now. Is it still too hot? Let's have a sippage. Oh, it's good. So I'm going to put it this side so that the yarn ball shelters it from the fan and it shouldn't get too cold. I've just had one as well, so I really didn't need another tea, but I thought if I'm going to make this video, I will need a drink, and I might as well just bring in another tea. So, you know, I'm wondering, does my little area there look a bit congested? No, it's fine. I do have a bit of mess in here at the moment that I need to tidy. But for now, it's just shoved into that corner. But mostly it's, you know, the little pieces of paper that I write on. It keeps happening, doesn't it? It's so, I think it's hilarious, but yeah, my face doesn't really explode. I haven't got the incredible exploding face. It reminds me of that movie In a Space. That movie In a Space, that really did kill me back in the day. I ended up laughing so much I had a bit of an asthma attack. If I find them ridiculously funny and I get into a real kind of belly laugh, then I have asthma afterwards. I keep cough for ages afterwards, and I always, you know, think one of these days I shall die laughing. But that when his face kept going like puffed out and then in, and it was like, you know, it just really did me. That's so funny, just so funny. In fact, I haven't seen that film for a long time. These don't make movies like they used to. You know, you're getting old when you say that, but it is actually true. You know, if you think back to the 80s and the 90s, it started in the 70s with Jaws, making these really good movies, and then you got all the Back to the Futures and the Terminators and the Rocky movies and everything. They just don't make them like they used to, do they? I know there was a big kickback at one point about too many action movies and too much violence, which I kind of blame on RoboCop, really, because that was just so shocking the way that was filmed. Back then it was, anyway. But, you know, then action movies started getting a bit watered down, and that was the end, really. But they don't seem to have, to me, they don't seem to have the imagination in movie making that they used to, like the writing of them. All of the movies back then, even the sequels, were better than the originals, you know. Usually it's the other way around, isn't it? They try and do it again and it's just not as good. Cheers. I'm going to have a drink. I think I've got my laptop plugged in. It's getting in the way a bit. I love this yarn, I must say, I do. It's very nice, but it does get a bit floppy. I'm going to pour a little bit out while I'm waiting for my little drinky. Nice cup of biscuit tea. Just ordinary biscuit tea, not one of the other flavours. I love biscuit tea. It's my favourite drink. I drink it all the time. I used to, for a little while, had a phase of the toast and jam tea, which I do like, don't get me wrong, but biscuit tea is my drink of choice. But of course it's the Yorkshire one. I'm not really keen on the other one, but the Yorkshire, oh, that is my favourite. I used to feel quite guilty because when I first, when people first asked me what I was drinking, lots of people tried to get it and they had to buy it from Amazon, and then not only they were massively overpriced on Amazon, the shipping was outrageous. So that's one of the reasons I put it in my shop, because I thought if people buy yarn, they can pop in a box of that and it's not going to cost them any more, and it's cheaper than the price on Amazon. And plus, if they're going to pay for the shipping to send them yarn, then it's just a freebie, isn't it? A free shipping for the tea, because it's not massive, it's not heavy. But yeah, I'm more of a tea person. I don't drink much in the way of coffee. There are a couple of coffees that I do like, but I'm not really a coffee drinker. If I was out and somewhere that I was visiting had Lavazza coffee, then I would have it. You know, when you go on holiday and they have that beautiful continental roast coffee, that's what it tastes like. And I do have it for the house, but it doesn't taste the same for some reason. It's nice, it's ish, but not the same. So anyway, there was a time in my life where I got into Java, quite dark roasts, and I couldn't drink tea anymore because I got the taste of coffee is so strong. That's what my taste buds got used to, and I found like tea was just too not boring, but seemed flavourless, you know, in comparison. So I stopped drinking tea, and I didn't like that. I thought, oh, you know, I'm getting a bit hooked on coffee. Maybe it's time to just get back off it. So I didn't drink it for a while. I went back to tea, and now I'm a tea bag again. I get that from my mother. My mum was a terrible teaaholic. She would have a pot of tea that she would make, a giant pot of tea, and then she would put it next to the fire. Oh, so it would stew. And I hate strong tea. She'd say, pour me out of tea, and it would just be like deep orange. It'd be this colour, or what? It was a bit darker, and I would go, oh, how can you drink that? Lovely. No, it's not. Really isn't. But Gary has his tea really, really strong. When I make Gary tea, I have to put 2 tea bags in, squish the bejesus out of them, not put very much milk in. Total opposite of the way I used to drink it. I used to have it weak and milky. Now I don't have milk. So that's the beauty of this cup. You know, you can't see the fact that all the tea sticks to the sides. That's why I like to bring this one in, because it doesn't show it as bad. It does clean off, but it doesn't look nice on camera, especially. But yeah, I mean, I do like. I mean, the coffee that Gary's into at the moment is you can buy it as a complete 3-in-1. So it's got the milk in it, it's got the sugar in it already, and it is a salted caramel one, and he loves it. And it was Paul and Victoria that got us onto it. Once he tried that, it was, well, we need to get that. So and then we found a Starbucks one that had cinnamon in it. He likes that as well, although as far as he's concerned, it doesn't have enough cinnamon. He loves a bit of cinnamon, does Gary. So he does drink all of those though, but I've never even tried that one with the salted caramel. Perhaps I should give it a go. But you know, you're at the mercy of the sweetness that they've given you if you're in those 3-in-1s. I don't like things that are too sweet now, because I don't have sugar or any sweetener in tea, so I can't. When it's funny really, because people always say it's coffee you can have black and without sugar, but tea you can't. Well, for me it's completely the other way around. And when I was young, I could easily drink black coffee without sugar, but now I can't. It's got to be, but if it's too sweet, oh, I can't be doing that. The only thing that I can bear a lot of, you know, the way that they make it very, very sweet is hot chocolate. I had one yesterday. It was really nice. We went out yesterday because we had to go to the audiology department at the hospital because Gary's hearing aid broke, and so while we were out, and he needed a pair of shoes, so we just popped into the local town, and I had a lovely hot chocolate while we were there. I needed to sit down. I was like, this does not bode well for Vegas, does it? If I need to sit down walking around those shops. But to be honest, I've been a bit under the weather. And so that's why. I just wasn't very... I was worse yesterday. Feeling a lot better today, thank goodness. But I have antibiotics and they're kicking in, which is good. Well, I hope they get rid of it completely. But I don't know exactly where and why I got it. So here we go. I love this orange and lemon bit. It's my favourite part. And then the teal and the purple. But I think the colour is now going all the way across the blanket. It's moving. It's going to go like that. You can't... It's transitioning in a kind of a not bright way. But yeah, it will switch. Okay, let's get on with it. It's going to take me quite a while, this. Good job there's a nice long deadline for these Boggy Creek blankets, because, you know, it will take me a little while. It doesn't grow as fast as I'd like. That's the beauty of holy patterns, isn't it? That they grow quick. But I've made this quite a few times as baby blankets. I made it for Harley when he was little. I'm sure I made it for Tyler. I'm positive I made it for Sophia, who is 9 now. So yeah, I've been making this blanket a lot in my time, but it's just a variation on an existing stitch, but I like it this way round. So I just call it the Rocky Road stitch because it's not the same stitch as the usual. It's just my way. Got to be different, haven't I? Don't know. So I don't know how long I shall carry on doing it for, because I am rather peckish now. I looked in the fridge and I thought, I'm not really hungry. I'll go do my video. Sit down and then your stomach goes rumble, rumble. So typical. Wasn't hungry before I started. But never mind. I do enjoy doing these whippy videos. I used to like every now and then do a live stream where I would make something on the live, perhaps, but I don't know. I like doing those. I will do some live streams, but I need to kind of need to get better first, really, because, you know, they're more interactive for a start, and, you know, totally different way of filming for me. I need different equipment. I can't do a live on this one, which is annoying because I'd like to. So I like the way that this setup. The other setup, not so much. So, tell me, what have you got going on your hook at the moment, or needles, because some of you might be knitting. I found my knitting the other day. I was out in my yarn van. I don't know if you know, I have a yarn van, and this is not my only yarn room. I have a yarn van, and in that yarn van I have my shop, hobbyrocks.co.uk, and I have most of that yarn van. It's 32 feet long and about 10 to 12 feet wide, but most of it is shop. Got a little packing area, but most of it is yarn, and it's all in racking and in those big clear boxes. But I do have another wall which is just my yarn in these kind of cubbies, and I also have 3 massive cardboard boxes of my yarn which I can't fit into the cubies, and I also have about 10, maybe 12 big boxes of those, and they're not always clear, and they're small actually, so they don't hold much, of bags, shoes and clothes and tea sets and stuff like that from my old house, because I had nowhere to put it. And it lived at the end of the yarn van on my racking, and I thought, you know, that's taking up yarn space for the shop, so I've got to get rid of that. So I started to go through it, and I have a bag to give to charity that's on the go, and some that I thought, oh, I might use that, and brought them in. But a lot of the clothes will not fit me at this precise moment in time, but I don't want to get rid of them because they're just too good to get rid of. But you know, I never seem to get to grips with losing the weight to get into the blessed things. So after Vegas, after the holiday, I'm not going to be having any more sugar. I'm going to low carb it, and I'm going to do fasting, intermittent fasting with it. So I did that once before, and it really did work out well for me. So I'm going to try my very best to get a blitz of a good few months before Christmas, and see if I can, you know, get it done, basically, because I wanted to lose lots of weight before going to Vegas. It really hasn't happened, unfortunately. I wasn't happy about that, you know. I didn't want to go to Vegas, you know, this size. I will try my best to lose a bit, but I haven't really got long now. It's not really going to happen, is it? Very annoying. Gary says, just be who you are, you know, just be the size you are and enjoy life. And I went, yeah, but I don't. There's a problem. I don't want to be. I don't like me this size. I don't, you know I enjoy life when I've lost it, and I can go shopping and get the clothes I want, and I know my life is so much more, I'm so much more outgoing and have more confidence. Believe it or not, this is me lacking confidence. It is, to be honest. The thin me has more. But yeah, I do prefer me. I do prefer the other me. It's not a different me. It's the same me, just it's just enhanced, you know, me turbo 0.2 sort of thing. I'm talking gibberish, so apologise. It's the trouble when you're just doing the whippy video and it's not a live stream. You just sit and babble away in the corner. But never mind. So yeah, I'm going to do this one, and then I'm going to do the squares, and then I've got to think again. I might just do, I mean, a lot of people are doing like granny blankets, so I might do another kind of granny. But I've got lots and lots and lots of yarn that I need to use. So this was why I got this out, because I had it packed. It was in a pack, and I thought I can either use it to make a Boggy Creek blanket, or I can just sell it or put it in mystery boxes. Because you know, when I do my yarn quests, some of the yarn that I get in my yarn quests, or samples that are sent to me, I do put in the mystery boxes. A lot of the mystery boxes are most of the yarn that I put in is yarn that I sell. But then occasionally, if I kind of have put high value yarns in, then I'll think, okay, I can put some of that in as well. So because I won't use it all, and some of it, you know, is beautiful. So I just think, well, I know that I've got so much yarn, I won't use that, I'll pop it in. So I placed an order today for some more King Cole yarn, some newer ones, some newer colours of ones that I've just started to stock, and a couple of brand new to me yarns. So that I paid for today, and that will be coming soon. They said they'll try and get that off to me tomorrow because it's a bit late for today. Maybe. We'll have to see. So while I was talking to her, we discussed it. She's going to put some samples in, or send some samples off. Probably won't be in with the order, but I'm going to get some samples of a few colours that I've not seen, and a few yarns that are new, so that'll be good. I like it. So when I get the samples, sometimes then I just pop those once I've shown them. Sometimes I use them to swatch up, see how they work up, and maybe stock them. Have I got the right stitch there? Yeah, I did. So yeah, that's it's also a way of me, because I said to the lady on the phone, her name's Diane, and as I said to her, there used to be a shop in the town, like the main town here, that did all King Cole yarn. So I said, it was good then. I could just go in, have a little look, have a little squish, and think, I like that colour. Oh, that's lovely yarn. Oh, that feels good. And know what I said, but now she's gone. She went during the lockdown. That was the end of the shop. I said, so now, I you know, from my point of view, I like to have a good grope of that yarn, you know, see what it's like up close and personal and how it feels. I said it's difficult when you're just looking at a picture, so that's why I like to do that, and then I can show you guys and squish it and make it up, and so everyone gets an idea of what it's like. I'm getting a bit of a backache sitting here. Wow, it's ball, look at it, it's kind of like, ooh, it's got squishy right there. Started off life as a normal skein. Doesn't take long before it collapses. It got luckily the last ball, when I got to the end, did not end up in a big knot. I was able to sit it on the countertop and just unwind it, thank goodness. But I'm hoping this one's the same. But for the next two balls, I am going to cake them up. I will take them out into the yarn van, where I have out there, I've got a nice wool winder and a Swift for hanks. And I found my hanks the other day, a few hanks that I've got that people have sent me over the years, and some are more of the ones that I had from Knit Crate, because I did do a kind of a time of Knit Crate. I have put some, I've got some hand dyed yarn in my shop, and I did put one lot of Knit Crate yarn, Aldine wools it is. I put one lot in the shop because I know I can't use it. But most of my Knit Crates I did as giveaways, because, you know, they are, you know, they weren't all acrylic. And I know I sent some to Granny D as Happy Mail, or as a prize. I know Granny D had some. But I found some more, and so I will either, you know, pop it into like a cake, or, you know, I might give some away actually. We'll have to see. I have one which was very, very bright and very stripy, but yeah, they're all kind of bougie yarns from my Knit Crate. I have one that was from Sadie Spincraft, which she sent to me and asked if I would do a video, and you know, so she sent me some yarn, and I showed it and did a video for that. I've still got the little skein, well, hank, but they were all in a box, and I was sorting through the yarn van the other day, and I come across the box. Didn't realise what it was until I opened it. I was like, probably got a few more in those big boxes that I told you about. I'm not sure if that's all of it, but I did have some which was from a dyer called the Little Grey Girl. It's very hairy yarn. I've caked that up. I don't know where I put the cakes. It's over here somewhere, but they are very, very hairy, and when I start using it, it goes straight up my nose. And as much as I love it, the look of it, I know I'm probably best practice would be to wear a mask when I use it, but it's very thin yarn, so I might have to run another one with it, which would be good anyway, I think, because it's very, very, very thin. But it was a lot of money. And when I did my yarn quest, there was a kind of It was in a shop in Faversham, but they did a wool kind of festival sort of thing. And I think one of my subscribers put me onto it. So I went, and funny enough, I bumped into her that day. So yeah, I bought the yarn, and at the time I bought 2 hanks that cost more than most of my yarn quests when I get a great big bag of yarn. But they were pretty. It was very difficult for me to actually find anything that my hands would not react to. But I think that one was alpaca and silk, so it should be fine, I believe. But I will find it. I will, you know, come across it. And another hairy yarn that I have is some of the Scarfy Light. I managed to get some of that. Beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. And I wanted to make something for the winter. But at the moment, I'm still healing my thumb. I've got a little plaster on now. Every time I pick up my crochet, it seems to react and get worse again. So this is kind of a test, because my hook does touch it in a different place as well as on the plaster. But I do feel overall that it is getting better. Another row done. When a blanket gets big, it gets really hard to kind of control it, doesn't it? I remember when I made that big blanket for Gary, I used to have to turn the whole thing very carefully, and then find, you know, it was hard to sort of get the working yarn untangled from it. It was a bit of a mission, but thankfully, due to doing it on live streams, it did make me finish it, because that sat there for a long time as a UFO. And I kept getting told off by subscribers, finish Gary's blanket. So I thought, you know what, the only thing that's going to make me finish it is to actually do live streams and work on it during those lives. So it was a good way of getting that big project done, and not having to sit and dread it. You know what I mean? I've got a message. Hang on, guys. 2, in fact. Just bear with. Quick reply. There we go. It's lovely and warm because my fan is blowing on me, so it's keeping my arm warm. It's weird, isn't it? You're sort of you're really hot, put your fan on, and it's like, a bit chilly. There's no pleasing these Brits with the weather and the temperature. I sit there. The ideal situation in the living room is to have the aircon on with a blanket on my lap. That's kind of my ideal situation, because then my face and upper body is cool, but my legs are not getting cold. I poor old Gary, I put it on and he goes, I'm going to go and get a jumper. And I say, it's not cold, Gary. It's like 90 degrees. But yeah, it's cold. What was that? Why did we get aircon? Huh? Why? I wonder sometimes, just for me. It's coming along. It's coming along. Very slowly, but it is. I will be working on this other than on camera. I did when in the other ball, but I've not been able to get on with it as much this last week. We've had a very busy week. We had Gary's son Jamie stay in, and we also had family barbecue. Gary's family. Whoops. Went a bit too far in the round. That's it. Yeah, so we had that going on, and we had before that we were out a lot with the kids doing this, that and the other. So it's been a very busy time, and it's because it's school holidays and stuff like that. So oops, I've got a knot now. Pulled it out too much. It's only gone a looped around itself. Yeah, so it's been a bit busy around here, so I have not had much chance to work on it. And then I was under the weather, so you know I didn't really want to do that. I was sitting there in the living room with my eyes kind of closed, listening to the television, and getting tired a lot. I got tired most evenings really early, which is so not like me. And I'd had to go to bed, and even if sometimes I got into bed and then I was awake because I was tired in front of the TV, and I get to bed and I wouldn't be able to sleep. So I'd come in and put my computer on and be on there for a little while, but then just say, oh, I'm sorry guys, tired. So I'd go into some live streams, and yeah. Also, I couldn't really, you know, with Jamie staying, he was kind of in the living room, so I was trying to keep my noise down a little bit. Excuse me. I need another drink. That's what it is. Should have brought some in. Really was hoping that Gary could pop out and get some water while he's at work today, but he didn't take his wallet with him, so I thought I don't really want to go all the way in my car, which has no aircon. I didn't want to go out and get, you know, supermarket just to get water. So hopefully he'll be able to sort something out. Anyway, when I get to the end of this row, I'm going to call it a day because I need to go feed my face. I'm starving. I'm wasting away before your eyes. Yeah, right. But also I need to go feed Fluffy, who, my cat, first of all, I felt like she divorced us because I think she's scared of Gary. She's scared of his feet. She's half blind. She's got one eye. So I think, oh, excuse me, but she knows. So I think when she sees his big feet coming, she'll run away. So she decided that as far as it was concerned, she would sit on the sofa and let him stroke her, but the minute he got up, she'd run. Anyway, she decided, I'm not going to stay in the house with you anymore. I'm going to live in the conservatory. So she would stay out there, and she had a box to sleep in, and then first of all, she had a big cushion, then she had the cushion in the box. But she was like, I don't want to come in, thank you very much. And she would eat out there and drink out there. Let me stroke her, but that's it. And then she decided, no, I'm going to live on the decking out in the garden. So, but she would come in at night and have some food and a drink, and she would curl up and sleep in the conservatory, but she was out on the decking all day. Now she won't come in. It's like, no, I live in the garden. I've divorced you completely. But you know, once the weather starts turning, I bet she'll come back in again. But yeah, she's a very funny cat. She's when she was young, she did not like any fuss at all. She would, you know, if you picked her up, she'd be struggling to get away. She didn't want it, and she'd let you stroke her, sort of. She didn't really purr. She was a very antisocial cat. And then she got attacked. I think when they go out and about, I think they had a dog next door, and the dog chased her, and I don't know if it bit her under the arm. Well, I know cats don't have arms, but the front leg then. And so she started to get a little bit under the weather. I didn't know what it was. And then I noticed when I picked her up that she had this goo under her arm. Let's call it an arm. I know it's not, but you know, let's call it an arm. So, oh, and it was horrible. So I made her an appointment for the vet, and one of her eyes started to, well, both of her eyes actually, started to go milky. So the vet said, you know, this is quite, well, first of all, the first vet said she's going blind. You need to go and have all these massive tests that cost a fortune. So I just thought, oh, I'm going to get a second opinion. So I spoke to this lady called Jackie, who we call the cat lady. And she's from the RSPCA, which does a lot of work for the RSPCA. And she put me on to a really good vet. So I took her there. And this vet said, no, the blindness is probably because of the pain. When cats are in pain, sometimes their eyes can milk over like this. So while she was blind, she could not leave my side. She sat on my lap or she sat next to my legs. She seemed to like the straightness of legs. So she would, and then she would walk around the the wall. She'd walk around the wall to find a way. But she allowed me to comfort her, and that was the first time that she was ever like that. Anyway, so I got this vet sorted her out and her eyes cleared up. Apart from one of them was darker than the other, and they said, oh well, you need to keep an eye on that one. But she was back to being independent. No thank you very much, I don't want any fuss. Anyway, that eye started to swell and get bad, and in the end we had to have it removed because she got glaucoma in it. And so now she just has the one eye. So she's not as confident as she used to be, because back in the day when she had two good eyes, she was out at night. It was a struggle to get her in, and she didn't want the fuss. She was an independent pussycat and wasn't interested. So she's now a kind of a mixture of that, you know. She's kind of I am an independent pussycat that doesn't need to live with you, but at the same time I'd quite like you to fuss me now and then and feed me a lot. So that's the cat I have now. Come the winter, she'll be back in, I think. I'm not absolutely sure, but she is now. She's divorced us even more. living on the decking, or she sometimes sort of sits up against the back wall of the house, because obviously walls retain heat from the sun, and I'll go out there and sometimes she's just stuck up the wall, with her, you know, cuddled up to the wall. She doesn't want to come in. I call her, and of a night time I see her one eye reflecting, and so she's sitting there on the decking, and I call her and she just sits there, and I hear this meow. Like, no, I'm not coming in. Defiant. I've made my first stitch too tight. Oh, there we are, I'm in. So yeah, bizarre cat, that was what I have. And I've always had bizarre cats. When I was younger, I had two cats that were like my babies, and they were brother and sister, and they were lovely, and they used to play with each other, and they would play fetch with me, actually bring a silver ball, put it in my hand and make me throw it again. And little mice, you know, little mice with catnip in, they loved those. And they were the two most normal cats I've ever had. Every other cat that I've ever had apart from them two has been completely neurotic and weird. So yeah, I think it's all because they kind of inbreed. That's what I think. So there you can see the colours are going across. That one's going this way, and that one started there. Now it's over here, it will start going that way, I think. So yeah, it's really coming on. So yeah, don't forget, if you want to see the tutorial for this, if you haven't already, I will put a link up there now, and one if I can remember, in the description box. And when the foot, oh, I put the top of my head back now. It looks bald. It's because it's really light. It looks bald. Anyway, I'm not bald. I've got too much hair. I think I need to get thinned out, to be honest with you. So anyway, yeah, I'll try and remember when those 4 videos pop in to make it one of those, to put it in the description box. But yeah, it will be, well, it was up there probably when I did that. So thank you for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. I'm just about to go off and feed my face, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.